This is a fun one that I am excited to talk about. 7 boring habits to transform your health. Now, keep in mind, fitness does not have to be boring. This is not the end all be all when it pertains to fitness. There is a bunch of information online, a bunch of scare tactics. Don't eat this. A bunch of new age, like, oh, try this new method. And a lot of it is distraction, unnecessary complexities so that people can sell you an answer. I mean, there is just a lot of random advice that floats around online. And this right here is kind of the foundational aspects to living and embodying a fit and healthy lifestyle. Now, you can do certain things in a fitness routine that are fun. You know, you can train for a new event. You can try to get, a new weight on a certain exercise. You can try a new method of cooking or try new foods. Like, there are plenty of areas and avenues to add fun and excitement into your fitness routine. It doesn't have to be boring, but the boring stuff works. And it's the stuff that we do every single day when it comes to living a fit and healthy life. So let's get into it. Number one, as you probably could have guessed if you do one-on-one online fitness coaching with me, but strength train 2 to 3 times per week. This is your foundational fitness element. I put less is more because I would rather you work out less, but be more intentional, be progressive, try to overload your exercises, adding weight over time, executing your exercises with higher quality, higher technique. But strength training is what's going to allow us to build and maintain muscle, which is such a superpower. Improving and maintaining your metabolism, your bone health, your overall mood and self-confidence, helping regulate your hormones and your appetite, and then just maintaining independence as you age. Being able to do things. Being able to rely on your performance and your confidence on your day-to-day basis, that is what stems from strength. Moving on to boring habit number 2, and this is a reliable sleep schedule. Sleep is just as important as the other pillars. When I say pillars, I mean strength training, daily activity, cardio, nutrition. Sleep is right there, and it often gets slept on, meaning people don't talk about it. It kind of gets pushed to the side. But sleep is another superpower that can help you feel better throughout your day and help the other habits perform better that I'll continue to talk about. So 6 to 8 hours is kind of that ideal window. And a couple tips that make sleeping a little bit easier or just more efficient. Ideally having the same sleep time, so going to bed at the same time, and the same wake time. That will help you establish that type of reliable routine. Take your phone out of the bedroom, and not because it's some crazy electromagnetic device, but because it's a distraction. It's a light. It's something that you are going to sit on for 30 minutes and then just sit down and try to go to bed. And then it's going to be your alarm clock. So you're going to wake up and immediately go on to it and start checking emails and text messages. Just keep your phone out of the room, and I can almost guarantee it will improve your sleep. Just use a standard alarm clock. They're awesome. They do the job. Try to avoid having caffeine 8 hours before bed if you can. That helps you fall asleep and stay asleep during the night. And then the really challenging part, try to maintain your sleep schedule over the weekend. So we got strength training 2 to 3 times a week and reliable sleep schedule for our first 2 boring habits. Boring habit number 3, getting 8,000 plus steps in per day. The more we walk, everything else is improved. Think about it. If you're going to work out for 45 minutes or for an hour, that's 1 hour out of the day that you are being active. We cannot sit and be still for the next 23 hours. There was a study that when people walked 8,000 plus more steps, their all-cause mortality, meaning dying from anything, decreased by 50%. So it's like walk more and you have less of a chance of dying. Now, there truly is no magic number because we all are different. 8,000 just seems to be challenging, yet maintainable for most people. And it does seem to kind of be that threshold when we start to get a multitude of health benefits, cardiovascular benefits, insulin resistance benefits. So trying to hit that 8,000 plus number is a great goal for you, but really you should identify what your current steps are and just try to increase by 10% and then maintain that for, 2, 3, 4 months and then try to do it again. All right, we are on our 4th boring habit, breakfast with protein and fiber. Truly, 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 breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And I'm not just saying that. People who eat breakfast, one, regulate their hunger and their cravings for food and calorie-dense foods later on in the day. Meaning if you eat a substantial breakfast in the morning with protein and fiber, you are less likely to be hungry and have cravings at night, which I definitely struggle with. I'm sure you probably do to some capacity. And then number two, you burn more energy throughout the day, meaning you are doing more things. If you fuel yourself earlier on in the day, you're going to have energy to use, and that's going to inspire you to go out and move more throughout the day. Breakfast is super important to just setting the standard for the rest of your day. It is a very simple way to stay on top of your nutrition and just your fitness as a whole. Something that I try to do, 30 to 40 grams of protein, 5 to 10 grams of fiber in my breakfast. You know, I kind of have two breakfasts that I rely on. It's either some form of eggs and toast and avocado, cottage cheese, maybe something else, or it's going to be like oats with some nuts and some frozen berries and some Greek yogurt. So I have two options that regardless of the day, if I'm feeling one or if I'm feeling the other, I know that they're reliable, they're quick and easy to make, and they're going to help me hit that 30 to 40 grams of protein with that 5 to 10 grams of fiber. All right, let's move on. Kind of staying in the nutrition realm, taking time to meal prep. So just one time throughout the week. It does not have to be on Sunday. It does not have to be this perfectly curated thing where you have these cute little matching containers that you put your perfectly curated meals into. Just spend time making the bulk food items and make a good amount of them, or the main food items, and make them in bulk. So a protein, turkey, chicken, beef, whatever you want. A carbohydrate like rice or potatoes or sweet potatoes, some veggies, some beans. You know, if you can give yourself that hour of preparation of cooking, and that can save you so much time later on in the week. And this saves you during the oh shit moments. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm hungry. I'm tired. You know, I just picked the kids up from practice. We don't have anything planned. Oh yeah, I remember I prepped food for this exact time a day ago. So that's kind of what it inspires and promotes, is it just saves you from the hunger zone and when you don't have anything prepared, and it saves you from going out to eat. People who eat more at home eat less overall calories, they eat less added sugar and less added oils and fats. Like the more you can eat at home, it's almost guaranteed the healthier your overall diet's going to be. Tracking metrics. This is another just boring habit. I think this one gets overlooked a lot too, but there is a common trait among people who are fit and healthy, and that is they do some form of self-monitoring. You don't have to be robotic. You don't have to track everything. Pick a few things that you can track, and this allows you to identify where you're at and see what your baseline of whatever metric you are tracking is so that you can improve upon it. I'm sure you've heard the analogy, but if you wanted to budget your money and you wanted to save more money, like you're not just going to aimlessly start saving, you're going to check to see where you're spending money. And then from there, you're going to be like, okay, this is what my spending looks like. How can I make changes? So it's the same thing with your health and fitness. If you can track something, then there's a much better likelihood that you can improve it. So things that I track every day is I track my steps. I track my lifting metrics. So I, write in what weight I lifted on certain exercises. And not every day, but often I track my total calories or at least meals. So again, you don't have to do all of them, but I would pick like one, maybe two of these things to incorporate. If you don't track anything, start implementing some form of tracking. This creates awareness and it takes the guesswork out of it. You actually know what you're working on and what you're building off of. This one is another boring habit that you're not going to see online very often. Most of you are probably not doing this, but celebrate your wins. We are our biggest critic. So why not also be our biggest fan? Meaning you are probably the hardest person on yourself when it comes to your health and fitness. So switch that mentality a little bit. And instead of focusing on the things that you're not doing, or still focus on those things, but also put some energy into focusing on some of the things that you're doing really well. Because I guarantee you are doing a lot of things really well, and you're probably not giving yourself the credit for it. Reinforce the positive behaviors. That is going to make you want to do them more and build on them. So something that I've started doing is just writing down one thing in a journal with a piece of pen and paper. You can do it on your phone if you want to, that I was proud of from my fitness. You can either do it every day, but I think for a lot of people that's too much, too soon. So do it weekly. Just pick one thing throughout the week that you're like, you know what? I did really well here. I was super busy. I was bogged down. I was tired, and I went to the gym still. So write that down. You're proud of yourself. So the whole idea of these habits is becoming someone that embodies fitness as their life, working out, eating nutrient-dense foods filled with fiber and protein, and prepping your food so you're, one step ahead of the game, moving daily, walking, exercising, managing your stress, feeling confident, not just feeling confident in your appearance, but feeling confident in your ability to move about in life. Like, that's what we are after here. And that's what these habits kind of help build and prioritize. Again, these are not necessarily the most fun aspects of fitness. There are certainly more things, or there are things in fitness that are more fun than the 7 habits that I just talked about. But these habits allow you to build a foundation and a base. And they, more than anything, they change your mindset around being someone that prioritizes their health and fitness. Just like how we all hopefully brush our teeth, because that is just a habit in our personal hygienes. We can start to incorporate some of these habits as well. And you by no means have to do all of them. You know what? All of them are probably not right for everybody. There's some things that I talked about that you might never do, and that's okay. Pick 1 or 2 of them and do them for like 6 months before you either A, give up on it, or B, try to start doing more. Like, do 6 months of a habit and really build on it. And I can confidently say that will help you progress in your health and fitness journey. If you have any questions on these, please let me know. If you want to incorporate these habits into your fitness routine and you're not quite sure how to, or you just need someone to talk with about the habits, or help hold you accountable, or support you, or adapt them, then please reach out to me, and I would love to be that resource for you